Hello and welcome back to my channel. I think this would be either it's going to be part 2 or I might just combine it with the other one. I don't know. But I have finally finished all the Rights and Wrongs series and I absolutely loved it. So the auction was amazing. So definitely feel like first off that this one should be read in order. It's not a necessity, but I feel like you just should. That being said, in the auction, there are things that are written that are little like hidden Easter eggs, I guess you could say, throughout the story that I feel like you wouldn't appreciate or you wouldn't even capture or get if you've never read the first 2. So, and the first 2 are really, they're shorter. They're not as long as the auction. It's very easy to get through and they're fun. Like I like them. I like the first one in Hermione's point of view and I really enjoyed Draco's point of view in the second one. I actually think that I like that one the most. Well, not the most. I like that one better than Hermione's point of view. It made me laugh a lot, so I think that's kind of why. And it was cool to kind of see and compare the things that happened in the first one and where you were wondering if it was Draco, like what Draco was thinking when this was happening. And the character did, the author did a very good job with taking those situations and then bringing them back in the, all the wrong things to do with Draco's point of view. Because now it's like, oh, so that's what he was thinking when this happened. Like that was, I really enjoyed that one. That was really cool. But, I love the auction being the alternate universe, dark alternate universe of all the Rights and Wrongs. It's talked about a lot in the first 2 books about this said auction that would have occurred if Voldemort did in fact defeat the Order and actually won the battle. And it was cool to see it in that way of how things were going to go about everything, because basically in the auction it's Voldemort ends up winning. He ends up creating this auction for his Death Eaters. So basically they can auction off the war prisoners, basically do whatever the heck they want with them. And then they, go to these parties and have these whatever. And it's just like a whole bunch of dark, just your worst kind of imaginable things you could think of that these disgusting Death Eaters do to these freaking prisoners. It's sad because, shit like that happens. Like it's not, easy to read. But it happens. It happens to a lot of characters that you do end up, that you love from the Harry Potter books, and you hear about them going through things to where it's tough for sure. When Hermione is actually put up to the auction, she's actually auctioned off to Draco Malfoy. So that's how that whole situation starts. And the whole time she's trying to figure out why the hell did he get me in the first place, because as soon as she goes to Malfoy Manor, it's like nothing is happening to her. She's put into this lavish room, that huge room, all beautiful, huge bed, the drapery is amazing, the huge bathroom. It's like interesting, like opposite what you would think. You would think straight up in the dungeon she'd be going. No, she was put into this amazing room. And she doesn't even see Draco. She's like, what the hell's happening? Like, I'm in here and nobody's telling me anything. She ends up questioning, like, why is she here because of Draco? Or is she here as, like, the side piece for freaking Lucius? Like, what is she here for? She does end up seeing Lucius. I don't know if it's the first day she's there. But she does see him. And right away, where her mind went, obviously, I'm here for him then. But that's not the case. He just confronts her. And she obviously wants to know why the hell she's there. Nobody's really telling her. Narcissa ends up being a character that really helps her throughout this whole process in the books, or in this fanfic. And she comes up there to see her and things like that. And she's just taken back because like, why are you treating me so nicely? Like, what am I here for? Like, I'm so confused as to why I'm in this room, and it's like a beautiful room, and just being taken care of, like, just in like a pet. Like, what is happening? And the whole time she doesn't know. Like, her Narcissa's telling her, "Hey, you can go to the library if you want. Our Malfoy library downstairs is really nice. Blah blah. Check out any book you want. Do whatever and eat. You know, the elves are here if you need them. They give you food and all that stuff." She's just like, I'm confused. Like, if I'm just held captive here, like, what am I here for? So the whole time you're just trying to figure out what the hell she's there for. Obviously, being the reader, you just state the obvious of why. It has to be because Draco, obviously. And the only thing you think of, obviously, is because he loves her. But how would she know that? You know, this one is based off in school that she does end up talking about things to where she did have kind of like a crush on him in school. So it's very much how the first two books were, to where they were both kind of like hidden, like liked each other or whatever. But she doesn't know that in the book, you know, so she's just like, she never knew. It was very much they were enemies, like, in school. So why would she ever think? She always felt it was one-sided. It was always, she kind of had a crush on him. And she also was just like, why do I have a crush on this guy? He's an asshole. But she thought he was cute, whatever. Nothing came about it. Never in her life did she think that he would ever try to even give her attention. She wasn't even a pureblood. So that was a no-no. And you have him on the other side not coming to terms with what's going on. Like, he doesn't even try talking to her, doesn't try anything. Kind of just ignores her. And she tries confronting him, like, why am I here, dude? Like, what the hell? But he never answers her. He just kind of just brushes it off, like, aren't you, just enjoy whatever, you know, do what you need to do, stuff like that. But obviously she can't run away. She can't harm herself. He doesn't treat her the nicest in the beginning, you know, like, she tries to run away. I think she's able to go roam around the manor. There's certain places that she can't, it's warded off to where she can't go. Like, there's Lucius's office and the private bedrooms. Narcissa actually asked her not to even try to go there. So she tries to respect that. But she's able to walk outside, but she can't go past a certain point, which she does tend to challenge, I guess, because she does go outside and tries running away, and she ends up severely injuring herself. And Lucius ends up taking her and bringing her inside, things like that. But the whole time, she's just so confused as to why she's there. She does end up talking to Draco here and there, but it's nothing like ever anything like a friendship or anything. But he has to play the part, you know. He has to treat it like, obviously he's on the bad guy's side. He has to make it believable, of course. So there's situations that happen where it's like, whoa, you know, but you just find out he just doesn't do anything bad to her. He tries to prevent from that happening. So you end up wondering, so it's like, okay, so he kind of got her so he can save her in a way from what's happening. Because she ends up finding out that obviously a lot of her friends, like Ginny and Cho Chang, have all been given to other Death Eaters. And they haven't had the best time, obviously. They've been, you know, raped and just tortured and who knows what done to them. But she hasn't had that same treatment. And she ends up feeling kind of shitty about it. Like, not that she wants that for herself, but she just ends up, you know, feeling guilty. And by the time she ends up talking with Draco to kind of figure out what's happening, he still ends up not telling her the whole truth, I guess, of why he has her. You end up really more finding out towards the end. But they do have these parties that they go to. At these parties is where she's able to see her friends. And her friends are there, and they're with their Death Eater partners and stuff. And she can see how they're just playing along with the part to try and survive, pretty much. And she tries to figure out ways to get out of the situation and to save everybody. And as you go along the journey with her, you know, it's cool how it ends up coming about to where she's able to kind of get away. And with Draco obviously able to start to change as well and start to feel more for her and kind of think differently because of it. But he also has to be careful because if Voldemort finds out, then his whole family's done for. Because he's wanting to protect his family as well. And protect her. So he's very conflicted. It's really cool how everything turns out. It's, at the end, it's kind of comes back around and ties back to the first 2 books. So this is why I say, like, it's really cool to kind of watch or to read the first 2. That way you don't miss certain things. Because at the very end of the book, it just really comes back around. And it makes sense. Like, what shows at the end might not be hitting the same. Like, you might just read it and be like, okay, like, why is that? Why there? Why, like, that's kind of random, but it's not random. It's very much pointed back to the first 2. And it's like a little nod to that. And then I love that. Just like, just the little things. So this one was definitely more of a happier ending, even though there was a lot of tragic things that happened throughout the book. It's definitely a really cool and fun adventure to go through. Besides, obviously, the toxic things that go on. But it was really good. I definitely, if you're more into the darker, just still give it a chance. Still give the first 2 the chance. Read those. They're more fluffier, for sure. They're more about, hey, this is them living their life after the war. And after everything has been all nice, whatever. Harry's alive and with Ginny, and Hermione's working at the Ministry. So it's like that, and then they end up, you know, getting Draco out of Azkaban, because he did go to Azkaban, because obviously being a part of all that mess, he was in Azkaban for so long, for 16 months, and they ended up being able to get him out. So it starts out with that, and it's cool to just see how they fall in love in a normalcy kind of way. So that's why I say it's like more, I guess, fluffier. But leading into the auction, it's better to just read all 3. I really enjoyed this one. It was good. Definitely did not break me. It made me cry at the end, but I guess I'm just a sucker because I just keep crying because all these freaking love stories. But it was more of like a happy cry, like, oh, like, you know, it was a cry like that. It was not like a cry like, oh my God, like, what is happening? And it was like, oh, like, I can't handle this. No, it wasn't like that. So definitely check out those 3. Highly recommend. I will be doing, my next video will be on Secrets and Masks. So I'll be diving into Secrets and Masks and talking about that. So I'm excited to get more into the darker books again, because I heard that that's kind of like manacled. So I can't wait to read that one. So definitely check out my next video, and I will see you guys next time.